What's up, everybody? So you guys saw my pure Cyber Dragon deck list a few days ago, but I know a lot of you still really like Machine Dupe. So here we built a deck with Machine Dupe, 3 Cyber Dragons, and it's not as simple as pulling 5 cards out, putting those 5 in, because there's other things that you'd want to make the deck function and not brick and to be cohesive. So we will do that, talk about it, show you guys what we're talking about, and we have a really good going first combo for you guys after the deck profile, so make sure you stick around. If you enjoy the content, make sure you hit that subscribe button because you guys keep us going. The support is unreal. This channel has blown up to something that I never imagined it would. It started out as a small thing just to show you guys videos, and then it actually blew up into something really amazing. So thank you guys, and without further ado, let's get on into it. So 3 Cyber Dragon, like we mentioned, we're going to run triple core, 3 Hertz, and 3 Naxter because we want to max out on our Machine Dupe targets. We want to be able to resolve it as much as possible, and we just want the deck to function really well. We are playing the 1 Fear still because I like when my core resolves, and especially going second, assuming if they have something in the extra monster zone. And I mean, you still shouldn't, but you could chain block your core and then just contact fuse the extra monster zone. But usually you would want them to ash your core so that you can use your Machine Dupe. And you can always summon your Fear onto your Cyber Dragons that you dupe out. So it's not like it's dead in your hand if you open dupe. You just chain it to these guys. Anyway, since we're playing dupe or maxing out on our Cyber Dragons, we're going to go ahead and just play 2 Galaxy Soldier because we don't necessarily need the 3rd. And ironically enough, you brick more with a 3rd Soldier as opposed to without, because there's just certain cards in the deck that clump up that all need your baby Cyber Dragons, like your Repair Plant, your dupe, your Soldier. You need your baby Cyber Dragons to make any of those cards live. So by playing more and more of these cards, it doesn't increase your chance of seeing these cards. So without increasing this chance, adding more of these doesn't really help. 1 Jizukiru, 1 Pankratops, and then we have our Red Eyes and Dark Magician for the Dragoon package. We are still calling this pure Cyber Dragon. I know some of you do not like that, but I mean, some of you didn't like when we called it Cyber Dragoon either. And a very good point was brought up. If every single deck is playing it, you're not going to call every deck Dragoon. It's just kind of expected that it will be in the majority of builds. 3 Ash Blossom because hand traps are still needed. 3 Cyber Emergency, 1 Repair Plant, 1 Red Eyes Fusion, 3 Machine Duplication. We cut Tactical Talents also down to 2 because it's just one of those, another card that we don't want to clump up on cards that aren't working together. And it can work really good if, say, you don't open your dupe, they ash your core, and now you might draw into your dupe, things like that. Triple Dark Ruler no more because we do not need to focus on OTKing guys. We need to focus on gaining control and breaking their board. 1 Harpy's Feather Duster because it finally came back so we can play it. And back row decks are just the pain in the, for this deck. 1 Foolish Burial because especially going second, assuming they have a monster, and you can play through negates, you can Foolish a core, banish it, and summon a dupe target. Again, you see where we're going there. We want our dupe targets live. 1 Cybernetic Overflow, and 3 Infinite Impermanence, rounding out the main deck. If these are out of your price range, I 100% understand, guys. What good replacement is there? Well, honestly, there isn't one. There's not a card that does what this card does. I would just suggest playing like whatever you can. Add another kaiju, add, 1 Called by the Grave, and just play 40 cards. Add 2 Evenly Matched. Just add some type of good card that you feel will help you moving forward, and it's kind of dependent on your locals. But as far as a replacement, there really is not a replacement for a card that draws 2, change a heart, rip a card from their hand. There just isn't a replacement, but I do understand if it's out of your price range. 1 Chimera Tech Mega Fleet in our extra deck. Orcus becoming much more popular, so I do like 2 because they can usually get through the 1 sometimes, and then when you hit them with the second one, it's usually just good game by that point. 1 Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon, 1 Invoked Macabre, 1 Intis, 1 Dragoon, double Cyber Dragon Nova, 1 Infinity, 1 Pleiades for our going first board, 1 All Mirage, 1 Relinquished Edema, 1 Cyber Dragon Zeger, and 1 Predaplant Verde Anaconda. So this is the deck profile, guys. I really do stand by it. If you're playing Dupe, I think this is a very solid build. Obviously, you do not need the talents. You do not need Dragoon. Just personally, I feel like for the deck to be most optimal, they will be played. But you are obviously allowed to play whatever you would like, and this does not mean you have to play this build in order to do well. You can do well with other builds. We have seen a variety of builds top in the last year or so. So do what you can, play your best, try not to misplay, and if the matchups fall in your favor, guys, that's all it takes is one really good day of matchups and you can do well. Not that there's big events going on. Anyway, without further ado though, let's go ahead and show you guys that combo. So here we go, we see we opened up Core, Dupe, and Extender being our hurts in this case. So that is, well, the best hand we can go going first, especially if they don't have a hand trap. Summon your Core, search out your Repair Plant. I mean, obviously it could be a little bit better. You could have opened Overflow or a second Extender like your Repair Plant or your Galaxy Soldier, in which case you would also have your Overflow, but that is not going to be any issue. So now we're going to go ahead and Repair Plant, get our Galaxy Soldier. And you might say, why didn't you Dupe yet? I mean, you can. There's really not necessarily a way to do this. Smarter way may have been Dupe first, especially before your Almirage, because then you can use your Repair Plant to put one of your Cyber Dragons back into your deck. And by putting it back into your deck, you now have 2 Cyber Dragons still in your deck, meaning that you have your other machine duplication still completely live. So in this case, since we did kind of do it backwards, we're just going to grab our Core out of the graveyard to keep a Cyber Dragon in our deck. 'Cause if we search one and then Dupe one, we're completely empty, and that is not something we want. So now here, Nova is our summon number 5. The other big reason to do Dupe first, not like we just did here, because now it'd still be number 5 for your Nova, which actually, I mean, you could go 4, but then you'd have to link to Almirage and then revive with Nova. Anyway, you if they Nibiru you, you can summon your Rampage, and now you would not have used your Hers effect yet, is where we're going with that. So that's why you would do your Dupe first if you're playing optimally. Remember how we just kind of mentioned about matchups falling in your favor, don't misplay. Little misplays like this can cost you in the long run, because now if he had Nibiru and hit us right here, we're kind of SOL, because, well, we're not going to do a whole lot. We'll have a token and a ramp or a Makaba, because we are playing Makaba, and that is, well, it. But here we can go ahead now, almost misplay again, machine dupe. This is not me showing you guys a replay that I did well. I am actually doing this as I talk because, well, there is not really any good reason for it, but we're just doing it that way. So now we're going to go ahead and make our Constellar Pleiades. And we still have 2 monsters left over, so you know where we're going with that already. Predaplant Anaconda. And when you guys saw the deck profile, most of you probably already knew what we were going to do with this. But anyway, Core, Dupe, Extender, you can go ahead and make Infinity, Pleiades, and Dragoon, just in case they're playing Super Poly to out the Dragoon. I mean, they can Mud Dragon you with your Pleiades and your Infinity, but you will still have a Dragoon. They can't Starving Venom you is the big one. And yeah, so that is that, guys. Here is the board. Hopefully you guys liked the video. Like, share, and subscribe. All kinds of good stuff coming. Check the description down below. Have a good one.